Good evening, and welcome to the Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association Health is Wealth. I'm Reverend Evelyn Collier-Dixon, and I'm your host for today. Our host, Bernetta Pearson, is not with us, but we certainly honor and recognize her. We also have on our telephones our coordinator for this event, Miss Janice Henry. And this afternoon, we're going to have a wonderful program. We're just so blessed to have in studio with us none other than Miss Tony Oates, who's also a member of the Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association. And Miss Tony Oates, would you share with us some of the other things that you are affiliated with at this time?
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hello, my name is Tony Oates. I am the president of Alpha Eta Chapter of Chi Eta Phi Sorority. It is a professional nursing sorority here in the city of Chicago.
Wonderful, and welcome, Ms. Oates. Good to have you.
Thank
you. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about nurses, and we're going to be sharing with you some of the contributions that nurses make, and we're going to be honoring some of those nurses and the contributions that they have made over a period of years, and I would say more than 30 years. So I want Ms. Oates to share with us. Before I go into that, I just want to let you know that Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association is a professional organization consisting of registered nurses, licensed practical nurses, and student nurses. And I'll give you a little bit more information as we move into the program. But I want Ms. Oates to share with us some of the upcoming things that we are doing as nurses collectively. And Ms. Oates, I want you to kind of give us a history of this event that's going to be coming up entitled Black Nurses Day. So would you share with us, Ms. Oates, how this evolved and how it came about?
Yes. In 1989, Mr. Regner, the member of the Congressional Black Congress, he made a proclamation for nurses to be honored. Mm-hmm. As you currently may not know, that African American nurses comprise of approximately 5% of all the nurses in the United States. Okay. And we practice in all areas of clinical, education, administration, research, government, and private enterprises. And here in the city of Chicago on February 22nd, we will be having our 31st National Black Nurses Day celebration. Oh. Every year, the committee, which comprises of representation from the Chicago Chapter of Black Nurses Association, mm-hmm. Alpha Eta Chapter of Chi Eta Phi, the Provident Nursing Alumni Association, and also the Beta Mu Chapter of Lambda Pi Alpha Sorority, which is another nursing sorority. We collaborate every year to acknowledge what African American nurses bring to the patients. And as some people, just to remind you, that every year the American Nursing Association always has a survey, and nurses every year are number one as the most trusted healthcare professional.
Wow. Okay. Every year we made the top of the list.
Every year we make the top.
Oh, that's amazing and interesting to know that we as nurses, and especially, I want to put a label on that, we as black nurses are doing some positive things to make significant difference to those that we serve. And Ms. Oates, I just want you to share a little bit about your sorority with our viewing audience, because many may not know what Alpha Eta does.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chi Eta Phi sorority was founded in Freeman Hospital in Washington. They were founded by 12 African American, at that time they were called Black or Negro nurses, that were not allowed to join the other nursing organizations. And Alpha Eta Chapter was founded and chartered in Chicago, Illinois in 1980. Mm-hmm. And right now we are preparing to have our 31st scholarship luncheon. One of our missions and our visions is to elevate the plane of nursing, and the way we do that is that we assist nursing students in completing their nursing studies. So we give scholarships for associate degree, bachelor's degree, and master's degree. So in April, we will be having our scholarship luncheon, and it will be held at the Oaklawn Hilton, and somehow we will get that information to you.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Yes.
You know, I like what you said, Miss Oates, about scholarships. So that means that you have the best interest of inspiring or aspiring nurses coming up to be nurses if you're supporting them financially. That's an excellent.
Yes.
That's excellent. Okay, and you say that your targeted students are associate degree, bachelor's degree, all the way up, or do you just stop at a certain level?
We stop at master's degree currently.
You currently stop at
Yes.
master's degree, but you are doing some positive things as it relates to nurses and their upward mobility to move up and become more astute in the area of nursing, and that really says a lot for the organization, for the sorority, and we want to applaud you at this time for that. Okay, now can you just kind of tell me or tell us some things that's going on as it relates to the Black Nurses Association? I knew I was going to say that, the Black Nurses Day Committee.
Yes.
And how that has come about.
Well, every year the committee decides on what specialty area that we want to recognize. And recently, as some of you may have heard, at one of the hospitals, they did a transplant of 2 different patients at the same time, and each patient got 3 organs. And that was after the committee decided that we were going to recognize nurses this year in transplantation. So this year, on February 22nd, we will be recognizing nurses that work in the area, the specialty area of transplantation and dialysis. And our guest speaker will be none other than Pam Morris Walton, who was a heart transplant recipient. And some of you may know her as a radio personality on 1390. And the reason that we asked her to join us and to speak to us is because she can speak to the nurses as far as how the nurses affected or helped her through this process, and also as a patient, and as how it is to go through and have a heart transplant, and all the processes, the interviews, the questions, all the treatments, and the long time that she was waiting for this heart transplant.
Okay, so that's going to be really interesting. And you know, transplant is really a real critical and populated area of nursing now. And those nurses working in transplantation, they're busy.
Yes.
Because we know that, and especially as it relates to kidney. Now, heart is kind of not so, common, but there's a lot of kidney transplants that's going on. I know for a fact my sister is a recipient of, at 70 years old, recipient. She waited for 10 years to get a new kidney, and her kidney was a 3-time. It had been, she's a 3rd recipient.
Oh, that's
so that's really amazing. So I am definitely interested in this transplant area that you all are focusing in, and good to know that nurses are a part of this. That makes all the difference in the world. And that Miss Robertson, Pam Morris Walton, who's definitely been through the transplant, and I hear on the radio she talks about it all the time, and how the support was there for her, and that's what we as nurses are. We are supporters, and we advocate, and we take care of the patients before they have it, when they're in dialysis, or as it relates to kidney, and then once they have the transplant, we're there to make sure that their post care is adequate. So we're certainly happy about that. So just share again with us, and I hope this is visible, that we are going to be having the National Black Nurses Association, National Black Nurses Day 31st annual celebration, and that's going to be on February 22nd, 2019. And it's going to be at 6 p.m., right? And it's going to be at the Apostolic Church, 3823 South Indiana Avenue. And as Ms. Tony Oates said, that we're recognizing nurses in dialysis and transplant. And we certainly want to invite, and Pam Morris Walton, who is a heart transplant recipient, is going to be the guest speaker. And we certainly want to encourage each one of you to come. Now, here again, we have another guest. And good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
All right. And I'm so happy to introduce our second guest for this afternoon's program. And her name is Miss Marilyn Parker. And Miss Parker, would you share with us, thank you and welcome, would you share with us what role you play in this organization and what organization you're representing? And talk a little bit about that. And then we're going to get back into your program, what you're having on the 22nd, okay?
Yes, I joined the National Black Nurses Day Committee as bossalist almost 10 years ago.
Okay.
And now I'm past bossalist of Beta Mu chapter of Lambda Pi Alpha sorority, another professional nursing sorority. And my role now is secretary on the National Black Nurses Day Committee.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So here I see that now. How many organizations are a part of this National Black Nurses Day Committee? How many organizations? Miss Oates said that Qaeda Phi is a part. You're saying Lambda Pi. Who else is involved in your committee?
My Chicago chapter of National Black Nurses Association and Provident Hospital Nurses Alumni Association.
Okay. Okay. So the four of you come together as one group. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And then you're having this big event, which is going to be on February 22nd, right? You want to share with us some things that you'll be doing, Miss Parker?
Yes. Well, this is the 31st annual celebration of Black nurses in the Chicagoland area. And we particularly have vendors and sponsors for this program. So that as you enter at 6 p.m. at Apostolic Faith Church on February 22nd, 2019, vendors that will have products and items that we may be interested in as nurses, as nursing students, and the general community. And on the program, of course, Ms. Oates already mentioned Pam Morris Walton will be our guest speaker.
Okay.
And sharing her experience as a heart transplant recipient.
Okay.
We also will be honoring Kevin Cummett of the Gift of Hope Organ Donor, Tissue Donor Network. He actually is the president and the CEO, but he will be honored for all of his work, his commitment to that organization. And he also developed a non-for-profit program called Illinois Transplant Fund. And that fund supplies finances for patients who do not have insurance or finances to receive the organ donation and the transplant to save their lives. So with those funds, so far 85 patients' lives have been saved.
Wow.
So he is more than worthy to receive that honor.
Okay.
We will also have Jack Lynch from the Gift of Hope Network speaking about the program. Many of us may know a person or have a family member that may be in need or is in need of an organ transplant, and he'll also speak to how we can become donors. I learned through their website, the Gift of Hope's website, if you Google and go to it, that 22 patients are dying per day because they did not receive the organ that was needed to save their lives, and that's a high rate. And you spoke about the kidney transplant. And here in Illinois, it takes 5 to 7 years being on a waiting list to receive on the average, to receive that kidney.
Okay.
So we're excited to learn more about that because we have to speak about African Americans. We have a higher rate of hypertension, type 2 diabetes, many cardiovascular diseases, and we're apt to end up having end-stage renal failure, heart failure. So we are in need of these organs, but
Right.
we also need to be cognizant of how to donate. And we have many myths in our Black communities about why we shouldn't donate or become a donor.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Mr. Kevin Kumt and Jack Lynch will clarify that, as well as Pam Morris and Walton.
Okay.
So come, please. We invite the public, the general public, all the nursing students, all nurses. It doesn't matter what race. You want to learn more about transplantation as well as dialysis. We are inviting you to our program.
Okay.
We have plenty of space, many hostesses to accommodate you, and we serve refreshments at the end of the program.
Okay.
We're also calling for the nursing students to
Okay.
participate. We already have a commitment from Chicago State. The nursing students are planning to be in attendance. We're asking that Rush Nursing Program, the University of Illinois, Malcolm X, Truman College, all the universities, Governor State, and any that I didn't mention, you are
Right.
welcome, students.
Okay.
It's very inspiring.
Right.
And we usually perform a parade, have the students participate in a parade of students. As you're going through your nursing program, there'll be many seasoned nurses, but we are there to support you and encourage you. And personally, I receive inspiration as I've been in the practice over 3 decades every year.
Okay. Wonderful.
And it carries me to the next year.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
As a nurse, but we also, again, we're encouraging the general public to come out and participate and learn.
So that's good to know that it's just not geared to just nurses. It's open to all, right?
Yes,
So the general population can
Chicagoland
come.
area, anyone
Exactly. And
that has an interest or would like to learn. If you don't know, you will learn quite a bit about organ donation and transplantation as well as dialysis. The highlight of the program is to honor the nurses, LPNs, and RNs who have exhibited a standard of excellence in the areas of transplantation, in the area of dialysis. So if you would like to be nominated, you can nominate yourself. It's okay. And there are 3 requirements in a packet. We need your resume. We need a narrative statement about you as a professional, personal statement, and perhaps what type of impact have you made on a patient in terms of patient outcome, and 2 professional letters of recommendation.
Okay. This is very small. So what I'm going to have you do for our audience is to give them the email address where they can send that information and the website information. If you would give that to them now, Ms. Parker.
Okay. Well, you have until the deadline now to apply as an honoree would be January 27, 2019, and you can send your packet of information to rnccnbna@gmail.com, that email address, and to obtain more information about the National Black Nurses Day program, if you're interested in contributing as a sponsor or contributing to an ad. In order to apply as an honoree, you can go to this address, www.chicagochapternbna.org.
Okay. Okay, give them that email address again, because a lot of times, with technology, if I want to email you my information, it's right there. So give that email address again for me.
Okay, the email address is rnccnbna@gmail.com.
Okay, all right, thank you. So we're looking forward. Again, I'm going to just reiterate what Ms. Parker said as it relates to the event that's coming up on February the 22nd, 2019. It's going to be at the Apostolic Faith Church, 3823 South Indiana. That's in Chicago. And they're going to be, or we shall I say, will be recognizing nurses in dialysis and transplant. And the guest speaker is going to be Miss Pam Morris Walton, who is a heart transplant recipient. And this event is being sponsored by the four organizations: Chi Eta Phi Nursing Sorority, Lambda Pi Alpha Nursing Sorority, the Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association, and Provident Hospital Alumni Association. So we look forward to you coming to this event. Before we close, I want to certainly thank Ms. Parker and Ms. Oates for coming and sharing this information with us in regards to the event, and even just in general. It was a wonderful information. I'm going to take these stats home, and I'm going to definitely be looking into all of that. I want to share, and I hope I'm turning this right, a little information about the Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association. We have our regular meetings every Saturday. Second Saturday, I'm going to get it straight. Second Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Lutheran School of Theology, and that's 1100 East 55th Street, Chicago, Illinois. And we meet in room 208. And the meeting is open to all. And of course, we will not have a meeting next month, which is February, because we're going to be celebrating with the National Black Nurses Committee. And then we don't meet in July and August for our national conference. But you can get in touch with us at 773-792-7222. Again, that number is 773-792-7222. We would love to have you come and just be a part of our meetings at any given time that you so opt to do. I want to thank you, Ms. Oates, for sharing your time with us and your information about the event that's coming up, as well as you, Ms. Parker. Thank you so kindly for sharing that with us. And we look forward to having a wonderful time, because it sounds like you got good guests lined up. I'm excited about the Gift of Hope, because I want to know more about that, and like you said, a lot of times we as African Americans, however we want to be black, we don't really know a lot about being donors. So this is going to serve as a wonderful event for sharing of information. Again, we want to thank you so kindly for joining us today. The Chicago Chapter National Black Nurses Association, Health is Wealth. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.